And welcome back, clansmates, to another exciting episode of Jalapeña, a Gargoyles Garcast, where today we don't just bring you one episode, we don't bring you a double episode, we don't bring you a triple episode, no! We have a calorie-packed heart attack on a plate, a quadruple episode of Jalapeña with City of Stone Part 1, 2, and 3. And I decided we should
And
watch all
4.
these together. And 4, yes, I forgot about 4. Uh, I decided we should do all these together because, honestly, I think that this works better when you view all 4 parts at once. Because
I agree.
It's a little
I
mini
agree.
movie. And it's
I think it would have been a struggle to remember what was happening in the first episode 3 episodes later. You know what I mean? Because it is. I actually got a question. Did they release this as a animated film on the Disney Channel?
They did not. They released this over the course of 1 week. It was basically
Okay,
part
that's
1 on
interesting.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday it was, hey, enjoy this rerun from the first season.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad way to do it. One a day.
No, it was great. It was great. I was actually watching this. It would come on at like a god-awful early morning. I would come home from work at 6 a.m. I would watch Gargoyles, grab 2 hours of sleep, and then go to school. Because back then, I did not sleep at all. I was like Batman. And whenever this aired, I did not know what was going on. I was like, what is this, Game of Thrones? What is happening with this?
Well, I got to say, I know we're going to go through the whole thing. And I just want to lead it with saying that now I fully understand what the hook is. Because this is almost like, I don't want to say a different show because it's not a different show, but everything is upped by a significant degree in this 4 episodes, from the story to the animation to the performances to the just everything about it is at its top level at this. So clearly I loved it. I thought it was the best thing I've seen in Gargoyles, period.
I love how a Disney afternoon animated TV show about magical flying creatures did Macbeth. They did Macbeth. They adapted. They did Macbeth.
Yeah, they did Macbeth.
Yep. And it's just astounds me. And not only did they do Macbeth, they did a darn good, I would even call it the B plot. To me, the main plot is the B plot of everyone in New York getting turned into stone. I just loved it. And
let's just also say the level of violence in this, because I know we're jumping way ahead, but at one point she is executing New York civilians.
She commits murder.
Executing them.
Yeah. And it's we actually saw, I don't know if you noticed, but one of the people she murders is in the bank robbery scene at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
So she literally murders somebody that we've met. But it's okay. They get better and they show back up in a later episode. You're like, didn't you die? I thought you died. Yeah, it takes money to create new characters. Anyway, City of Stone. We're just gonna say City of Stone. That's fine.
Yeah. Call the whole thing City of Stone.
The whole thing is City of Stone. I consider this, Gargoyles the movie part 2.
That's what I said. It feels like it was a movie.
It was.
In fact, I would be shocked if they didn't release it on DVD as a standalone or VHS.
They didn't.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Disney did not. The big wigs at Disney did not like this show. They didn't like it. They looked at it like, you're doing Shakespeare for children, and that was pretty much it. Well, apparently, Michael Eisner had a thing against it.
Guess what they didn't do? They didn't dumb it down.
They did not. No. This is an episode that these 4 episodes are so soaked in tragedy.
Yeah.
For all involved. Yeah. Let's just get started. Well, Goliath and the Gargoyles stop a bank robbery, and they run into these weird little triplets.
Yep.
Who tell them, hey, you know what? It's a good thing that you spared her. And he thinks they're talking about the bank robber, but they're like, no, we're not talking about the bank robber. And then they're gone. They just disappear. And the other people who are in the scene are just like, what little girls? We don't know what you're talking about. Don't eat us, monster.
Yeah. Yeah, like
but this is
it's wild.
Yeah, so if you know that this is Shakespearean themed, you know that these are the Weird Sisters from Macbeth. They are appearing in
And they
modern
done
day New York.
so well. And then, you know what?
Yes.
They could have easily been fumbled, but wow, they become the real spine of these 4 episodes.
They really are. They are the connective tissue. The other connective tissue, of course, is our girl here, the psycho hell beast that we have grown to know and tolerate. Demona
She looks good there.
She does, yes. She does not look good later, but she looks good now. She's on her way flying through. She's looking wistfully at this scroll in her hand. So I'm assuming that it's like, something special to her, like a handwritten note or something. No, it's a spell to end the world. But who cares? And then we flash back to the very first episodes of Gargoyles, where Goliath is saying goodbye to Demona. And you stay here, and I'm going to go off and kill the Vikings. And she's like, okay, I'll stay here and not have anything to do with the extinction of our people. It's cool. And we get
I'm so glad they did do that, though.
Yes, we get an extension here where Demona and the captain of the guards kind of have this conspiracy going, where she was going to lure the gargoyles away from the castle, and he was going to let the castle defenses fall and let the Vikings sack the place and basically kill the royals. And Goliath basically screwed it all up by saying, no, you stay here. It's cool. The captain of the guard gives her his word. Hey, I'm going to keep your people safe. Don't worry about it. She, of course, does not believe him. In her heart, she doesn't believe him. And so she goes to try to warn the other gargoyles, but whenever she sees the Vikings coming, she realizes it's too late. The sun's about to go down, and she tells them, never mind, I'll talk to you later. And I'm sure you noticed which gargoyle she spoke to. That was Coldstone and his girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, got a little bit of continuity there. And I love how they did that and did not call attention to it. It's just basically, hey, we're just doing a bit of continuity here for everybody who's paying attention. Demona does not stay at the castle, though. She flies down to the beach at the base of the cliff and turns to stone. And I just love this. She is in such a vulnerable position.
Haunting.
Yeah.
Is the word I think of.
Yeah, it's almost like she is ashamed of the sun at this point. And I'll say it, this episode made me feel bad for her. And it's not because of all the things that happened to her, it's because of all the things she's allowed to happen to her.
Yeah.
She has so many opportunities in these 4 episodes to make a good life with good friends, but she just cannot let go of her hatred, and her hatred keeps coming back.
She's also manipulated. She's manipulated.
Yes.
And, from her perspective, there's not a lot that I could criticize her for coming to those conclusions based on the information she has at the time. It's one of those great things. It's a villain you understand.
I do understand her, but at the same time, I think that if she would have stopped and thought for a second instead of letting her hatred guide her, I think things would have ended a lot better for her.
Well, that's Demona's MO, right? Is to jump to conclusions and emotionally go from 0 to 100 in a heartbeat. That's her deal. So, it's pretty consistent with her character, isn't it?
Yes. So, Demona the next night climbs back up to the castle, calls out for her brothers and sisters, and then finds out the really worst way possible about what's happened to them, because she literally picks up some dude's face.
Someone's human face. This is like literally they've watched what I was going to say, Hannibal Lecter. My joke's gone awful. What's it called? What's the movie I'm thinking of, Jace?
You're thinking of Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Yes. The jail scene.
Silence of the Lambs.
Or a better iteration is Jim Carrey does it in Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
With Ham?
Not Dumb and Dumber, it was the cable guy, and it's like
the cable guy, he does it with Ham. Who hasn't tried that? I've done
at medieval times. So essentially it ties into the Gargoyle universe.
Ties into the
cable guy, Gargoyles connection confirmed.
Even though I ruined my own joke. There you go. Moving on.
There's so much delicious melodrama in this episode, though. I love this long, overblown goodbye between Demona and Goliath, where her tear lands on his statue and like it rolls down his cheek. It is very emotional, but at the same time, I'm watching it going, wow, this is going a little bit too far. But it's okay because it's It's okay. I will accept it. And then, how do we follow up this tender moment? Demona guts a child's face with her claws. You're watching the Disney Channel. Oh my God,
what
is
is with that?
First of all,
What
he
is
did not
with
have a
that?
lot of blood in his face, did he?
No, because like the fact that we have those 2 drops on that hand is graphic enough for the Disney Channel.
It really is. And there's
She
something
maimed
about
someone.
yeah, there's something about not seeing it and just seeing that trickle of blood between his fingers that is to me just makes it all the more horrifying.
Wow, it's just that one frivolous emotional action by her that causes centuries of damage and conflict. It's
but
great.
we're going to go back to 1994 because that's what year this took place in.
Not bad.
And at Pack Media Studios, again, a bit of continuity because Xanatos does own it. They have conspired with Demona because she has a spell that will steal 1 second of life from everybody who sees this broadcast. And she's agreed to share it with Xanatos in exchange for letting her use the studio. And so Xanatos is like, he tells Owen, hey, either watch it or listen to it. Don't do both, which I thought was really cool.
I just don't believe he thought that was going to be the outcome from the beginning. He just wanted to see what was going to happen. I don't think he really thought her plan was going to work.
I think that Xanatos is so wrapped up in getting to be into gaining immortality that he saw it as a calculated risk. Like,
but that's it, right? He just wants to be a god.
She's probably going to screw us over, but what if she doesn't? She probably will, but she might not. Hey, you know what?
But even if she does, we'll deal with it at the time.
But surprise, Demona screws them over. She stuns Owen and ties him to a chair and then makes him watch her TV show, which is basically what my girls did to me with Pretty Little Liars.
Am I the only one thinking this is the first time that I'm looking at Owen going, actually, you're not bad, dude. You're pretty cool in your own way. It's the first time I'm noticing it.
He is super cool, and all I will say is in these 4 episodes, they drop some pretty major hints that you don't get until later.
Okay.
So I'm just going to leave it at
that. But that's it. You're just teasing me. You can't tell me what they are.
Well, this is one of those things where if you watch the whole series and then years later watch it again and you hear a line of dialogue, you're like, oh, they were telling us the whole time. How neat. But yeah.
Anyway,
Demona starts broadcasting and she forces Owen to watch the broadcast. And then we see the Weird Sisters again, except now they've changed their forms. And they're like, oh, isn't this exciting? It starts again. Oh my gosh, she's such an idiot. Let's talk about how she was an idiot.
I love their different iterations. I love that little iterations.
Yeah, I love the fact that the Weird Sisters are some of my favorite characters. And we do see them again, obviously. But, they are my favorites. And I love the way, because they kind of change their personalities a little bit after this, because here they're just these impassive observers, but you get this sense that they kind of care about people. When you see
we get that great line in the last episode from them.
Yes, in the future though, they don't care. They don't care, but to me it works better. No, to me it works better.
At the end.
Yeah, there's a reason for their personality shift. It's because they're not at the top of the totem pole. Somebody else is.
Okay.
Somebody we have not met yet, but we have. I think he's been name dropped by this point. Anyway, 20 years after the fall of Wyvern, his name is Jalapeña. Hello, my name is Jalapeña. You work for me now.
This is taking a Rulotino.
You sexy triplets. Put on something a little more skimpy and let's go mess with the gargoyles some more. I wouldn't even be mad. Anyway, 20 years after the fall of Wyvern, Demona is now a refugee with a small band of gargoyles, and she has gotten a little bit haggard. She is aging, which is kind of a surprise.
Been out in the sun a bit too much.
Just a little bit. Now she's got to cut back on the smoking. But her and this very small band. I have a personal beef with Faye Dunaway. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. She was rude.
Yeah, it's called
anyway,
Supergirl.
She was rude. She was rude. Anyway, It's been 24 years and I have not forgotten Faye.
Look, are you shocked that you met her and she was rude? Really? Like, at
Not
no
really.
one time in Faye
Not really.
Dunaway's history of celebrity, any interview, she come off anything but a bitch.
I'm gonna give you the Reader's Digest story. I won a contest from AMC, and I was taken out to Hollywood, and I went to this Hollywood auction. I got to meet Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit. I got to meet I cannot remember his name, but he was one of the last surviving Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz, and he was very flattered because I recognized who he was right away. She was like, "Oh, you know who I am." I'm like, "I know who you are." And I met Jennifer Tilly, who is just one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She was
crazy as a sack of crazy
as a sack of rabid rats, but my God, she was just sweet. And then there was Faye Dunaway. Faye Dunaway, who would not say anything to anybody. The only interaction we had with her was very brief, and then she went up on stage, and then apparently she left. I had dinners with the producers of the show the next morning, and they forgot that the guests were there. And the director walked in and said, "Can you believe that bitch Dunaway?" And then she sat down and she looked up. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know y'all were here." I was like, "No, you're right. She was."
She was, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
There you go.
But yeah, wow, he has beef with a lot of celebrities, not like Faye.
Well,
not like Faye.
You know, we could get into a whole discussion about celebrity idolization one day. And how it is just disappointing to no end, I think. Gone are the days because gone are the days when you have somebody around who is celebrity
better than you think they are. Yeah,
that's a kid. But same with, I suppose that's the same with everybody, though. It doesn't matter who it is out in the world. If you're a good person, you're worth hanging and wanting to talk to. If you're a bitch, I ain't got no time for that.
I will say I had heard stories about William Shatner for many, many years about how rude and dismissive and mean he was. He was perfect gentleman, very sweet whenever I met him. So I was just like, "You're a good guy. You're a good guy."
After the article I read this morning about him, he had every right to be mean if he wanted to be. Did you read that story where he was denied? I have
not read it, but I got the Cliff Notes.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He was screwed. The captain was screwed. He was screwed.
In every possible way. But anyway,
so
we can talk about that. But this is such a great show. Let's get back.
Excuse me, are we going to find out what Jalapeña is anytime soon? Yeah. So anyway, Jalapeña is her nickname, by the way. No, I'm kidding. I will call you Jalapeña from now on. So, Demona and her little band of fugitive gargoyles are visited by these three.
Interesting that they look like the gargoyles now.
Yes, interesting. But
which I'm like at the time going, are they gargoyles?
Yes, they tell her about the location of the hunter, who is this bounty hunter who has been hunting them for years, who wears a mask on his face with 3 scratches across the face. Whoever could that be? Who wears a mask with 3 scratches across?
Yeah, she didn't put that together, did she?
Mystery. She has an excuse though, which I actually think is one of the coolest lines in the whole episode. But we go over to a castle where we meet a couple of people. First of all, we meet Findlay, who is the father of young Macbeth, who is there playing chess with a young woman named, I'm looking at the wiki.
Amy Adams.
I never keep these names fixed. Her name is Gruach, and they meet here for the first time. And obviously, this is all it takes for people to fall in love. It's like, let's play chess. Let's spend the rest of our lives together.
Look, honestly, that's enough. They're in front of a fireplace. I've made the rest of it up in my head.
Yeah.
Offensively so. Can't censor that now.
Like
can you,
12.
Disney? You can't censor that, Disney. What's going on up in here?
I'm sure you're about to get a letter from their lawyers like, we sure can watch this. Money can do anything.
Yeah, don't.
Anyway, Finlay sends his son and daughter off to separate bedrooms, you perv. And he is then attacked by the hunter, who comes after him and they fight. And then Macbeth comes out and tries to stop the fight, and he's awesome at it. I'm just kidding. He gets his dad killed. So Finlay is thrown off the castle to his death. Gravity is probably the biggest killer in this entire episode.
Yeah, for a few of them. Yep.
Yeah, so the hunter is about to kill Macbeth, and that's when Demona shows up. And she's like, I've been waiting to kill you forever. And can I just say, Demona's freaking terrifying in this episode in the flashback.
Yeah, look at the way they I feel like the animators are going like, oh, I think we figured out how to use shadow now. Because it's such great effect on the characters' faces, on the backgrounds.
They did not have to go this hard with Demona here.
They spent money on this.
She is genuinely terrifying, especially in this old, haggard, weathered appearance. She just has so much hatred and bitterness just bubbling inside of her, but not enough as it turns out. Because the hunter throws Macbeth to the side, and Macbeth is hanging on, and Gruach is trying to keep him from falling. And right there is a spark of compassion, because she's not gone yet. And she rushes over, and she saves Macbeth, and pulls him to safety. Unfortunately, that means the hunter has gotten away. And it's not one of those... I don't know. I really like the scene right after that where Gruach says thank you to Demona, and Demona just looks at him and hisses, and then she just kind of goes, and then flies away.
Yeah,
it's like that's the whole exchange. I just love that. Something real.
I'm accused of having the bad case of Mondays occasionally. Imagine living with centuries of being, grumpy, because she hasn't unhappy for a long time.
Yeah. She's only been around by this point probably at the most 60 years. She's a 60-year-old gargoyle.
It's enough.
At this point.
It's a long time to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm almost 50 and I'm grumpy all the time.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I've been doing 50 years.
Oh, surprise! Gilcom Gain was the hunter. You remember the kid who got scratched? That's Gilcom Gain.
No way.
Yeah,
no
I
way.
know. I know.
Twist.
There are so many surprises in these episodes that just come out of nowhere.
Is shocked.
Yes, but there is one more surprise. As the sun goes down on New York City, and the gargoyles wake up, they walk out into the clock tower, and strangely enough, they find a statue that looks just like Elisa. What's going on here? And that's the end of part 1. That's Elisa, by the way. All the humans.
You're gonna come with me, Marty.
Come with me, Marty. Oh my God, we gotta stop her, Marty. We gotta stop her from making all these dumb decisions, Marty. Well, let's go straight into episode 2 because we are doing all 4.
That's only one big story, mate. We don't even need to separate it. One big story.
Yeah, just one big story. It's fine. Let me advance into the wiki.
Everything's fine here. Nothing to say here.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I just love this episode so much. Moving on, I'm just gonna try to wing it with the names from now on.
I'm trying to remember which my favorite was. I think honestly, before you get to this, part 2 and part 3 are just so good. I think they really are the meat and bones of this 4-parter, I reckon.
I agree, but I think all 4 together just tell.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Good story.
But by now, I'm locked in. At the second part, I'm in.
Absolutely. And you know what is the best way to start a Disney afternoon animated series for children? The best way to start this episode is with Demona committing freaking genocide down the street. She is straight up capping people left and right, and she's laughing about it. She thinks this is the greatest thing in the world. She is murdering people. Now, here's the thing. Whenever they turn all the humans back at the end of the episode, do you think the chunks of the rock turn back into people?
I don't think they did. I was imagining there's just these hunks of flesh in piles.
Yeah.
And someone's having to clean that up.
Or, if they stay stone, you're going to have a missing persons report at some point or another. And they're going to find, you know what? We found this weird statue that had been broken on the side of the street. And look, the face looks very much like this person who's been missing. It's
the only other thing I don't buy in this, right? And I know you've got to take lots of leaps of faith, but the idea there's only a couple people that didn't hear it or didn't see it, I go, well,
Yeah.
probably should be a couple of thousand people.
Yeah.
There should be some people.
If I was writing this episode during this scene right here while Demona's laughing about breaking all the statues and killing people, I would have had like another laugh join in, and like across the street there's this one human guy with a sledgehammer going, "Take this. This is for laughing at me." Smash, smash. And they just kind of look at each other, and Demona just looks at him, and he's looking at her, and they just kind of do a quick nod and just go on.
Probably they're both thinking at the same time, who is that freak across the road?
Yeah. People just turned into stone for no reason. There's a demon lady across the street. I ain't asking any more questions. I'm just going to be enjoying myself.
Tonight is awesome. Yeah.
Tonight is awesome. Murder is fun. But yeah, Demona she's so evil here. We get
Demona, Demona colon the purge. Let's just call it that.
We get a update with our friend Henry Robinson. Hudson's
a cameo, let's just say.
Yeah, it is a cameo, and I do enjoy this because I like that Gargoyles has developed this rich pool of supporting characters that they can show up organically at this point. Because honestly, yeah, it would make sense that he's unaffected and he wouldn't have a complete idea of what's going on. But kind of makes me wonder, though, what would happen if the Gargoyles listened to the broadcast? Would they turn into stone during the night, too? Would they just be stone all the time?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, oh my God, the hunter is alive in the 20th century. My gosh, who could it be? The guy who is wearing Macbeth's clothes and speaking with John Rhys Davies' voice. Who could this be, Jace?
The guy from Sliders.
Yeah. Obviously, it's Professor Arturo.
Yep.
So, there is some Game of Thrones maneuvering here, and
it is Shakespeare themed.
Yeah, it turns out Gruach's father has promised her to Gilcomgain, who has become a noble in the house because of all of the dirty deeds that he's done dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap.
And so Macbeth threatens to quit the castle and go off with Gruach because they're in love, and he's told, you know what, don't do that, because if you do that, you're going to ruin your life and you're going to ruin Gruach's life too. So if you love her, you're going to let her go. And so Macbeth lets her go. And
kind of harshly, man. Like, it didn't really explain yourself. Yeah, it's like, on your bike, get out of here. Nobody wants you.
They do have that cliched moment, though, where he tells her, you know, get stuffed, I don't want you anymore. And she runs away crying, and he kind of goes, yeah, that's my favorite animated cliche. It's just
and then but then he screams, no! Or he screams something, and I'm like, she would have heard that, dude.
Oh,
she didn't actually walk that far.
Did he do that? I don't think he did that. See,
he did something like that. He did.
Okay.
Like, did you say something? There was an outpouring
no, dear,
of frustration.
Anyway, Gruach and Gilcomgain get married, and then the new king, who is just a complete douche pickle, says, hey, I know we've got everything we could possibly want. Everything's going great. Our evil's machinations have gone swimmingly. Yay. But you know what we need to do now? We need to kill Macbeth. And Gilcomgain's like, no, I'm not going to do that because he's popular, and I'm not, because I'm scratching McScratchface. And I'm not going to risk that, and you shouldn't risk that either. Besides, what are you going to do? Come after me? I'll talk. I'll tell him everything. I'll tell him that you had Finlay killed.
It's a real power move. That's a real power move.
And that's whenever the king goes to Macbeth and says, hey, Macbeth, found out who killed your dad. It was Gilcomgain. And Macbeth is like, I don't like that one bit. I'm going to go do something about it, by crikey.
I'm going to catch him by surprise and then yell at him while I'm meters away to attack him.
So Macbeth and Gilcomgain, Macbeth and Gilcomgain, well, you know, because he's got honor. I've got honor, my lad. They face off, and Macbeth looks like he's got the upper hand, but then you know, Gruach comes down, and Gilcomgain holds his own wife hostage because he knows how much Macbeth loves her. But thankfully, Demona shows up and is like, I'm going to kill you until you're dead. I don't know why she's Irish all of a sudden. Shenanigans ensue, and Gilcomgain is holding on to Demona, and of course, if he holds on to her, she's going to fall and die too, because they can only glide, she can't fly. But that's okay, because Macbeth, remembering her kindness from all those years before, reaches out and grabs her and pulls her to safety as Gilcomgain falls to his ultimate death. And I'm sure we will never see the hunter again. So Macbeth and Gruach get married. I love the age progression with her dad, by the way. I love the fact that they just didn't even try here. He just looks like a
shout out to the dad who has a red beard and a grey mustache.
Yeah.
If you can just flick back to me for a moment, I have something in common. There's a lot of red here and a grey. Yeah, so but shout out, they did that.
Here he looks like he belongs in the cast of Cats, though. He looks like he should be singing about Rum Tum Tugger or something. Meanwhile, the evil king says to his brand new son,
"What's more evil, him or
be a hunter, my son?" And he puts on the mask, which I think is kind of gross because that's how you get lice.
Yeah.
And what better way to end part 2 of City of Stone than by having two enemies meet and vow to work together to save the city? That's right. The bromance you never knew you always wanted. Goliath and Xanatos teaming up to save New York City from genocidal Demona.
I get Xanamentos's like wanting to team up and willingness to jump straight into it. However, the Gargoyles' willingness to get right into Goliath's willingness to go, yep, sounds good to me, seemed a bit quick.
Well,
he was like,
I will say this again.
Why not?
I have said this from the very beginning. And I think that this is something that Goliath understands. He does not respect, but he understands it. And that is Macbeth and Xanatos, both together, at least in the 1994 timeline, are true neutrals. They have their own motivations, and it does not matter whose side they're on. Yeah. They're going to align themselves with whoever they need to align themselves to get what they want. Goliath
it's the right choice, but it's just Goliath is generally very conservative on ideas like that.
Yeah, but I also think that as somebody who is a warrior, part of being a warrior is understanding your enemy, and he knows that Xanatos basically wants to run New York City. He knows Xanatos wants immortality, and he knows that Xanatos needs this city to do it. And so the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I think that's why they kind of went into it so willingly. It's basically, well, what's he going to do? Screw us over? He needs the city.
And what I love about the whole thing is, though, they avoid the usual betrayal and all that kind of thing.
There was no need for it. And you're going to find with Xanatos in particular, and even with Macbeth in a few episodes, that is a cliche that they avoid quite a bit is, haha, curse you and your inevitable betrayal. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, they do.
Because
you know what the problem is?
They are neutrals.
Xanamentos kind of lives by an honor code. It's twisted.
I love that you keep calling him Xanamentos.
He's a mint that you get from the store. He is the fresh maker.
Xanamentos. It'll
I call him Xanamentos.
Maybe.
That's like on another show we did the other day. We called the alien. I kept calling the aliens Metricons.
Metricons,
which is like basically like a New York 30-something guy who's a transformer.
See, I heard that and I was too polite to correct you, but I cannot let Xanamentos fly.
Yes, just you were polite the other one, but I'm not having it with Xanamentos.
Yeah, sorry, no. We respect Xanatos in this house. Let us continue. Elisa wakes up and she's alone in the clock tower and she's like, oh crap, what happened? There's a whole bit with her trying to figure out what's going on, but to me it's a little bit redundant because we already know what's going on, so let's go back to the distant past. Many years later, douchebag king falls off a cliff and Macbeth saves him, and so douchebag king's like, well, you've just proven your loyalty, Macbeth. You're my best friend, and we're going to be best friends forever. And then they find the gargoyle cave just purely by chance because the gargoyles don't know how to get into a cave and stay out of sight. And the prince the king is about to smash Demona, and Macbeth asks him, "Hey, spare her life. She saved my life many years ago. If
Uh,
you will spare her life, I would consider this a great honor." And so the king agrees to spare Demona's life, and
well, this is where it gets exposed that I'm a bad human being because I would have let him do it. I would have let him
I
do it.
probably would have too. Um, then they encounter the Weird Sisters, and we get the famous scene from Macbeth.
Toil. Yeah. The fact they put in toil.
Toil, toil, boil and bubble, fire, burn.
Yeah. Bubble. And it's like, at half a second, I'm like, oh no, that's appropriate. Like I was almost going to be like, that's lame, and then I caught myself well enough to go, no, that's actually not.
It was not a cliche at the beginning. They're referencing the beginning. Now I love the fact that they did toil, toil, boil, and bubble. I love it, and I love the appearance of the Weird Sisters as their old crones, and they're basically quoting Shakespeare during this entire scene. Yes, there are deviances, there are a few edits, but they do Shakespeare during this scene, and it's so great how the heck did they weave gargoyles into Shakespeare so seamlessly?
Mate, so you're strange. A teacher in real life. Like, you must have thought...
Allegedly, yes.
Allegedly, like, to be able to have a show like that introduce the kids to Shakespeare, it's a hell of an achievement. You're right. I mean, like,
it really is until they open up the book and they're like, "I'm sorry, his uncle wanted to do what? What? Oedipus what? Huh? How old was Juliet and Romeo? Yeah,
I never saw Brooklyn once in this book.
Where's the gargoyle robots? Act 5. Shut up and just keep reading. The king, however, returns to the cave and he's getting ready to smash all the gargoyles, and he does. He gets up. He like murders one of them. But he should have started with Demona, because whenever he goes to smash Demona wakes up and is like, "Nah, that ain't happening." And she and the other gargoyles they take off into the night. And they are Demona's like, "Oh God, I'm so sick of this. I'm ready. Look at me. Look at how old I am. I just want to kill the hunter. I want to kill him for good. I want to kill him till he's dead." Meanwhile, Mr. "Oh, you've earned my loyalty, Macbeth. You're a true friend." Now he's sending an army after Macbeth because he's a douche pickle. And Gruach's father, who has aged even more and looks more like, I don't know, he kind of looks like John Rhys Davies right here.
I was going to say Charlton Heston from the Ten Commandments, but I'll go with that.
"We have an army coming towards us. It's coming down the street, my liege."
They're people.
It's people. You maniacs! You did Shakespeare! Damn you! Damn you all to hell! Cold dead hands. That proposal was acceptable, by the way.
I think we've got all of his catchphrases done.
I think so, except for anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Not a fan of the guy. I'm sorry. I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but there I went anyway. I just lost like 50 people. Like, how dare he do that?
They've gone.
Charlton Heston came to my bar mitzvah.
He gave me a gun and everything.
That's right. Charlton Heston saved my father during the Civil War.
Gave me a rifle.
Oh my God. You become a fan of a celebrity and all of a sudden it's like you went fishing with them last weekend. Dude, he didn't know who you were. Be quiet. Anyway, Macbeth is Gruach's dad says, the only way you're going to be able to save your wife and son is to surrender. Because we don't have the men to stand up against him. You've got to surrender. And so Macbeth goes to say goodbye to his wife and his son. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is kind of a touching scene, quite honestly. Just the fact that he just goes up to his son, gives him a hug, and says, "You be good to your mother. You mind your mother."
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
She knew. She knew.
She did. She knew. But on his way to his execution, who does he run into? But Demona. And he makes a bargain with her. And it's like, "Hey,
watch out what she does with the rabbit."
So, yeah, he's like, "Hey, I need your help. You help me, I can help you. We can help each other." And the Weird Sisters show up. They're like, "Hey, we got a great idea. Would you two like to be immortal? Wouldn't that be awesome?" Yeah, we're gonna
It's
give
not
her
a bad idea,
No,
but it is a great penny drop moment. Talk about like watching an episode from last season and then finally going, oh, rightio. This is
yeah,
how it happened.
yeah. So the witches basically do this. They give Demona Macbeth's youth, and
It's
then
Freaky Friday, baby.
yeah, they bind them together. So as long as one is alive, the other one is alive, and they cannot die until one destroys the other.
It's not a bad plan. I mean, like, you're going to be old, right? But you're never going to die. So it doesn't really matter. And I
Yeah.
don't think he's like frail old man. He's still fit and strong.
No,
And
he's a
everything.
guy. He whooped Goliath. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
man.
doing pretty good for
So
himself. You know, he's
doing
got,
pretty
like I
good.
said, good looking silver daddy. You know, he's just like I have Macbeth. You know,
and
he walks in,
she's
hello,
got her
ladies,
one
I am
wish.
Macbeth, and all the ladies just melt like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you know, it was something I never considered before is that why didn't she get old? And then when I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, she got old. Oh, that's why she looks so great.
She got old, but then she got better.
Yeah,
and things are going pretty good at this point.
Yep.
Macbeth makes Demona a very trusted advisor.
That's very cool. Love this whole sequence.
Yes, in a sense, it's kind of an echo of the way things were at Castle Wyvern, which, honestly, I say Demona makes some really stupid decisions in these episodes, but she is the survivor of a genocide, basically. Yeah, it was her fault, but she is a survivor and she carries a lot of guilt, so whenever things get a little bit too wyverny, she's going to freak out a little bit, so I kind of get where she's coming from. However, right now, she is leading Macbeth's army, and they end up defeating the evil king and killing him dead, as a matter of fact. I think this is where he it's the one where he his skull burst into flames and the flames are coming out of his eyeballs at one point.
That's right, yeah.
Holy crap!
Disney's showing people's faces melting off. Yep.
Yes.
Stay consistent.
You're watching Disney. Oh my God. We got to cancel this show.
Look at the flesh melt. Yeah.
Yes, melting flesh, just like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I own that one too, don't I? Yes, I do. Awesome.
Yeah. Let's ruin that franchise. Yep, we've done that. Mission accomplished.
So, Macbeth is now king, and Demona is his most trusted aide.
It's a good team up. It's a good team up. I got to say, in this moment.
I could ship these two. It's fine. I know he's married, but things happen.
Well, I love the shot of him sitting on the throne and she's standing right next to him. I think that was
epic. Like I said, these 4 episodes are very Game of Thrones-ish. However, the son survives. And
if I had that haircut, I'm not Prince Adam. I don't need this haircut. I'm angry.
Yeah. Prince Valium haircut. He's got like the
Prince Valium. Yeah, forgot about that character, but of course, Prince Valium.
Yes. So yeah, he's. It's fine. I'm sure this won't come up later.
Is it Prince Valium the one that kept falling asleep?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jim J. Bullock. So anyway, Demona is named the royal advisor, and as a capper, he gives her name. He says, "You fight like a demon."
Where did that come from?
On the battlefield, he says, "You fight like a demon," and then he named her Demona, and she's like, "Demona, I like this."
Yeah,
and you kind of like, well, you know what? Things are good. Things are good for Demona and her clan. This could be sustainable. They could be safe here. That's, again, it's the tragedy of the entire situation.
Yeah, on the surface, it's a good relationship.
Yeah, there are so many ways that Demona could have saved herself and her people, and she just could not let go of her hatred. She couldn't let go of her paranoia.
Well, she's a self-sabotager too, I reckon.
She is.
At that point, if you got that amount of trauma, yeah, you're going to self-sabotage.
Elisa shows up at the Erie building.
Wow, there are other people in this show? Okay.
Yes, there are other people. Yes, you remember Elisa, right? She's the one who got shot a long time ago. She shows up and she gets into a scuffle with Owen, and then they turn to stone because it's just how it works. Not a good likeness, I will say.
Yeah, they're kind of like We're running out of time. Just get this done.
Yes, just get it done. We're over budget. My God, Greg Weisman is doing Macbeth. Nobody told us this was going to happen. So the plan is that the spell cannot be broken until the sky burns. And so Xanatos is just like, okay, let's go burn the sky then. So they're going to fly around with these jetpacks that have these chemtrails that are made out of flammable stuff. Holy God, the conspiracy theories are about to go nuts. And then they're going to ignite it, and they're going to make it look like the sky burns. Because they've done this before, because they broke the Gargoyles curse by lifting the Erie building above the clouds. And so now they're going to set the sky on fire. And everything seems to be working just fine. However, Demona comes out of hiding in the Erie building, because she's been there the whole time. And she messes with their countdown. So now all of the jetpacks are going to explode early, and they're going to kill all the gargoyles, because that's what you want to do whenever
typical diva comes from hair and makeup, gets back on set, causes a drama.
And then, as a final thing, she gets her mace ready because Elisa's right there, and it's like, I'm gonna kill you until you're dead. And it was such a great ending scene, and then fade to black. Sorry, kids, you gotta wait until tomorrow, but you don't, because now we're gonna talk about part 4.
To be concluded, as it said.
To be concluded, yes. So Elisa is saved by Bronx, who is not very smart in this episode. Usually he's pretty smart, but here he's not smart. He's guarding Elisa, but he's not trying to rip Demona's throat out, as he should. Because he still kind of trusts her, because he remembers her from back in the day. But before Demona can really do anything to the bestest but not brightest boy, the hunter shows up. He's like, hello, Demona. It's me, the hunter. Speaking with the voice of John Rhys Davies and wearing Macbeth's clothes. You have no idea who I am, do you?
The mask is definitely not going to give it away.
Yeah, turns out she actually does, but that's fine. We go back to 40 years after the fall of Castle Wyvern. The evil king, the evil deposed king, is trying to take his kingdom back from Macbeth. However, Macbeth's handy-dandy gargoyles are there to keep that from happening, and Demona is still youthful and immortal, and for some reason the other gargoyles with her are too. They haven't aged a day, because I guess the animators didn't think about it.
No.
This is out of order. Whoopsie.
There's no way we could do this episode without it being out of order.
Yeah. Spoilers. One day, Gruok's dad, who now looks like a very short Sauron the White from Lord of the Rings, tells him, "Hey, you know what? The English, they could be our allies." I don't know why he's become Jimmy Stewart all of a sudden. The English could become our allies, Macbeth. The English could become our allies, Macbeth. All you have to do is forswear the gargoyles and get them out of here, because the English hate them, because the English are lame. So Macbeth is like, no, we need to listen to everybody. We need to listen to all of our advisors first. And so he listens, and Demona, who's been at the window and listening for like 30 seconds, is like, well, that's all the proof I need. I'm going to go screw them over.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the fight is not going well the next day. The gargoyles have abandoned the battlefield. The castle is burning, and Macbeth and his family have to retreat. But outside waiting for them is the hunter, and dun dun dun. The boy who stole the hunter's mask is currently wearing the hunter's mask, is the hunter, by the way. It was him all along.
Shock. Another twist.
Shock. The other twist is that Demona is there. She allied herself with the hunter to tell him where Macbeth was. And I'm sorry, I love this shot of her against the moon.
It's a great screen cap.
Yeah,
I should have used it for the thumbnail, but I didn't.
You should have. Wow, that was really amateurish of you. But that's okay. Well, long story short, the hunter stabs Macbeth and kills him. And then that causes Demona to drop dead, because they are linked. Because Demona's
very cool thing that I didn't pick up on until it happened. I'm like, oh yeah, that is pretty rad. I like that.
Yeah, so they both die. They're dead. They're dead ski. And Macbeth's son comes over, mourns for him, and then they're like, "Well, you're the new king now. You need to get out on the battlefield and lead your people." So he goes off, and then the weird sister shows up. They're like, "Nah, it's okay. He's dead, but he's getting better. It's fine." They resurrect Demona first, and I love Gruach just confronting her, saying, "You dumb creature! You know all of your kind are dead. He smashed them all. Go find them, and I hope you join them soon, you jerk." And
she gets her moment, doesn't she?
She does, and it is great. And just
truth bombs,
absolute, just spitting venom at her. And then Macbeth wakes up, and "Nay, you're a ghost." "No, look, I'm flesh and blood, my dear." I love the interplay between them two because it's very Shakespearean. He says, "Oh, I need to go join my people." He's like, no, your son is he's the king now, and if they see you after you die, they're gonna think that sorcery was involved, because it was. And so Macbeth makes the very hard decision to leave, to protect his son and his wife from what other people would think of him rising from the dead. And so he gives her one last kiss and then walks away. And incidentally, the hunter was Macbeth the whole time.
Oh, no way!
I know. Who would have seen that coming?
No way.
Yes, I was wearing Macbeth's clothes the entire time and speaking with Macbeth's voice.
It's pretty, like, I'm mocking it, but it's pretty great at this point. I'm in, and I'm loving it.
Did love, before he took the mask, Demona's just saying there like, "Take off that mask. I know who you are."
Yeah, like
stupid. Yeah. "I wear this mask as a reminder, and also to keep the stupidest people in the audience in suspense." "Oh my God, who is he? Who is he?" Takes off the mask. "It's me, Macbeth." "Oh my God, who is that?" It's Macbeth. I'm Macbeth.
Yeah, that would have been 3 other episodes. I was in it. Yeah.
Broadway would have done that. "Who is it? Who's the hunter?" "It's me, Macbeth." "Where did the hunter go, Macbeth? Did you see where the hunter went? He was just right here." "Lad, it's me. I was the hunter." "It's okay, Macbeth. We'll find him together." Turns into an episode of Bad Man. Oh, anyway, Demona and Macbeth are having a throwdown. Xanatos comes back and he's like, "Hey, I need to get on this computer and I need to reset the countdown on the packs, otherwise everybody's gonna die." I mean, you got so many ticking clocks here. Macbeth and Demona just have a throwdown, and they end up in the atrium of the Erie building, which I don't think we've ever seen before, and it's a shame because it's a cool place.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I like it.
Structurally, it makes no sense because that
doesn't matter.
A hollow structure should not be able to hold up this 1,000-ton castle on top of it, but it's a cartoon with flying lizard people.
Who cares? We're there. We're in.
But Macbeth knocks Demona out, and he's about to freaking end her. He's about to impale her on a spike. Yep. He's like, I've had enough. I don't care. I don't want to live anymore." And that is when the weird sisters show up, and they talk to him. And he just I just love John Rhys Davies gives such a great vocal performance here because he just, at one point, right before he passes out, he just says, "I'm just so tired," and then they make him sleep, and it's just it's so sad. It's so sad.
Oh, it was a beautiful moment too. Yeah,
it really
was. Time for you to rest.
Yeah, it's time to rest, and then
Sun's getting real low there.
They bring Demona up. And they're like, "You have to give them the code." She's like, "No, I'm going to have revenge on my clan." "Yes, but who betrayed your clan to the Vikings? The hunter killed my people. Who created the hunter? I will have revenge on the people who killed my later clan." "Yes, but who betrayed Macbeth and what led to that?" They're basically just telling her, "You've got to take responsibility for your own actions," and she's like,
she don't want to hear it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, she don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. But she does have that moment of clarity. She has a moment of clarity where she realizes that all of her misfortune, all of the horrible things that has happened to her in her life, has been her own doing.
Yeah.
And she tells them the code, and the code is the word alone. Gargoyles, you did not have to go this hard and this emotional. You did not have to make me. You did not have to make me shed a tear for Demona. She's a genocidal woman who was just earlier murdering random people on the street and laughing about it. And now I'm like, I want to give you a cookie. You just seem so sad. But she gives them the code. Xanatos hears the code, activates his suit, flies up into the Erie building. I mean, he doesn't even stop, and he's just and he puts it in and saves all the other gargoyles and his own robots from getting blowed up. And then the weird sisters take Demona and Macbeth, and they're like, well, we're gonna bolt now. Bye, everybody. You probably won't see these guys again.
But they turn around and go, no, they're our children.
They're our children, which is an important line.
Like a line that caught me, like immediately. It was like, wow, like they have also accepted an extra responsibility themselves. So not only have you made Demona aware of it, but they are now self-aware. Well, it feels like that. Hey, yeah, we're kind of like a mum deal going on here. We've been looking after them for so long. We're kind of responsible. Loved it. Loved it.
The motif of children becomes very important in the next few episodes because it's not just the weird sisters who are having to take responsibility for their own creations.
Ooh.
And we're going to see that coming up. And we're also going to see some other plot lines that you might have missed from this episode. I'm not even going to say what they are. You saw it. It may not have caught in your brain, but you saw a couple of scenes here that become very important later.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And it's just so much fun. It's so much fun watching this episode and seeing all of the foreshadowing that they throw in that you honestly don't even catch until later. You're like, oh, they said that. Oh, we saw that.
Very cool. I love that kind of storytelling. Love that.
I love stuff that recontextualizes what came before, so you basically are forced to go back and rewatch everything again and go, oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
So they blow up the sky, which sounds like a bad 50s sci-fi movie. Beautiful visuals, by the way. I just love this. And all of the humans turn back into humans. They're all meaty and everything. And we get a kind of a bromance between Goliath and Xanatos at this point, where Xanatos says, "Hey,
good job.
I always wondered why I let you creatures exist, because occasionally you turn out to be useful." And Goliath goes, "Yeah, you do too."
Expect that from Xanatos. Love the back at you, brother, from Goliath.
Yes, and it is kind of like this episode is somewhat of a turning point because
I feel like it is. It feels like a crossroads moment in the series. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see where it goes now. This is, like I said, the first time that I've gone, oh, like Gargoyles has been a good show. I would say these 4 episodes are great episodes, though, and a good show.
I would say
they're great episodes.
These 4 episodes are among the best. A lot of people would argue that they are the best. I don't know if I would say that, but they're definitely like top 5. I know I'm talking about all 4 together as one story. Definitely top 5.
I see it. I see it.
Everything wove together so well, and then of course, we know how.
Who dropped their guts?
Yeah, well, it beats some of the other smells you get in Times Square every once in a while. That's something that I love about New York City is that there's so many. It's so kinetic and just sensory. You're just walking through Times Square, you're like, ooh, that's some Indian food. Ooh, that's some pizza. Ooh, that's hot dogs. Ooh, that's pee.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think is now I can actually contextualize that because I know what I mean. Oh, this place is nice. Yeah, like smell that. That's. Oh, yeah, I feel like having that. Oh, that's urine. Oh, that's weed. Where am I? Where are the cops? And
the cops don't come to Times Square. Nobody but the tourists goes to Times Square.
They're too busy peeing in the corner while smoking weed. That's what they're doing.
They got to de-stress somehow.
But if you do remember Times Square, Times Square is the only place where it's not only visual from a visual standpoint, the signs, But it's all catch-all, isn't it? It's like we're going to stuff everything that is about America. We're going to stuff it in, including the day we went and we walked past 2 bikini-clad blondes with cowboy hats, American flag bikini.
That is Times Square. You'll find several of those.
Yeah, that's America. That's America. Times Square. I want to go back, though. I want to go back.
The first time I ever walked into Times Square, it was a few years before that. I actually had a panic attack. I literally had a panic attack.
I was glad you were there.
I was overstimulated. I was actually with my daughter, of all people. We're standing there. She's looking around, and I just grab her arm, and I'm like, "Get me off the street. Get me off the street right now." So she takes me into the American Eagle store, and I'm in there, and I'm like, "That was too much. That was too much. That was too much."
I got to admit, I did look to you a couple of times as if he's cool, I'm cool. But getting into the M&M store and Krispy Kreme were moments of, I can breathe. Like,
yes.
It's not just so spectacularly visual. Anyway,
I know the locals avoid the place, and they kind of there's this attitude of that they got to badmouth the place. I'm sorry, I love it. I love it.
Look, Times Square is known as the corner of like the fulcrum of the Western world for a reason.
Yeah.
And until you go there, I don't think you can actually really understand. And I'm the first one. I had no idea what really Times Square was until you're there.
There's nowhere else in the world that you can tell someone dressed as the Statue of Liberty to F off because they got into your selfie and now demands you to give them $5.
Oh, yeah.
Nowhere else in the world that can.
Yeah, that's why if I ever go to LA, I'm not even going to bother with the Chinese Man Theater. Forget it.
No, you got to go at least once.
Yeah,
you got to go once. Walk down.
Well, maybe I could punch a Captain America. That might be a bit of fun.
Yeah, there's always that. No, I always say even the touristy traps like Hollywood, you got to visit at least once.
Yeah,
you got to. Just to say you've been. I've been twice, and if somebody said, "Hey, I've never been to Hollywood, you want to go?" I think, "Yeah, I'll go again." I want to go see Temu Jack Sparrow out in front of the Chinese theater.
Well, it's a different entity. When I was young, it was all about, I've got to go to California because that's where Disneyland is. Now it's all like, if I would go, be like, let's see how freaky it gets.
Oh, it's super duper freaky, and the later you go, the freakier it gets.
Oh well, Jason, what's the next episode on this extra long episode we've done tonight?
Let me look. I had the schedule up. My phone stopped working because we've been talking about this forever. I know we've got a small fan base. This is the first hour-long episode of Jalapeña we've ever done. My goodness.
That's what I'm saying. The fan base out there, we're building a nice little fan base. They're going to be delighted with this.
Yes.
And I know there's one particular fan that's going to be even more delighted that even at this end of this hour-long episode, I still have no idea what Jalapeña is. I thought, 4 episodes in one. The odds are looking good.
Well, I have some good news for you. The very next episode, if you were wondering what Jalapeña means, it's not in that episode either. We're doing an episode called High Noon. What's it about? I don't remember.
Got to be a Western, right? High Noon?
I don't know, but there's no gargoyles at High Noon. They're all stone. So...
Yeah, High Noon. We couldn't afford to animate the gargoyles this week.
It's High Noon somewhere. Yeah, we just spent 4 episodes doing Shakespeare.
What do you
Shakespeare
want,
and Game of Thrones. We can't afford anything. So yeah, High Noon. You're just gonna be staring at the gargoyles with pigeons like crapping on them for 30 minutes. Good stuff.
That's it.
And if you enjoyed,
that's amazing.
Yes, if you enjoyed this episode, of Jalapeña, please consider becoming a Patreon by visiting our video description below and clicking the link for Patreon. From there, you can get these episodes and installments early, as well as some exclusive videos. We're gonna get on the exclusive video part a little bit more. Plus, I'm starting a new show. I don't even think I've told you yet. I'm starting a new show. It's by the time this is aired, it will already be on the channel. But it's called Me Monday.
Me Monday.
It's called Me Monday, and it's just me. It's me talking to the camera about something that I have an opinion about, and that's it. It's just me.
That's it. It's Me Monday.
It's Me Monday.
Yeah.
So
beautiful. I love it.
I've done the first one. I'm about to do the second one. The second one's gonna piss people off, and I can't wait.
Well, hold on tight, people. Let's see what he talks about.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be talking
goddamn
about
Australian co-host. He's so fucking annoying and
nah. I'm only going to talk about interesting things.
Harsh.
Just like we'll be talking about interesting things on the next episode of Jalapeña. Hey, Gargoyles. Garcast.
You thought you saved it. You didn't save that. Get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Shut up.